Vanishing Act. Rhinos are in danger of dying out. Can cutting off their horns help save them? When most people think of rhinoceroses, the first thing that comes to mind is its horns. Sadly, rhino's most recognizable feature is also the main reason the animals are endangered. Poachers illegally kill about 3 rhinos every day in Africa. They often shoot the animals and saw off the horns. They leave the bodies behind. Some conservationists are taking extreme action. They're cutting off the huge beast's horn themselves. This process is called dehorning. It may sound cruel, but it doesn't hurt the rhinos. In fact, it may help save them from extinction. The goal is to try to prevent people from shooting the animal for its horn, says Jana Prestoris. She's a wildlife veterinarian and a founder of the Rhino Pride Foundation in South Africa. She's one of many vets working across Africa to humanely dehorn rhinos. Humanely is an adverb. It's in a way that is not cruel. Hunting for horns. There are 5 species of rhinos. They are spread out across Africa and Asia. You can see the map below. Here is where you can see past rhinos, and then orange is where they are today. Each species is in serious trouble. The main reason is poaching. Hunting most rhinos is illegal. Also, the international trade, buying and selling, of their horns is banned. Many rhinos live in national parks and reserves, where they're still protected by armed guards. Still, poachers are willing to risk hunting the rhinos, even in protected areas. That's because a rhino horn can sell for more than $300,000. So what makes the rhino horn so valuable? Owning them is seen as a symbol of wealth in some Asian countries. Plus, the horns are often used in traditional medicines in China and Vietnam. They're ground into a powder. The powder is used to treat nosebleeds, fevers, and other ailments. There's no evidence to show that these medicines work. Still, the demand for rhino horns has exploded in the past 10 years. In Vietnam, the craze has been fueled by the rumor that rhino horns can cure cancer. Rhino populations have suffered as a result, especially in South Africa. The African nation is home to most of the world's 29,000 rhinos. In the past decade, more than 8,000 rhinos have been killed there. Rescuing rhinos. Dehorning was first used in the African nation of Zimbabwe in 1989. It continued into the early 1990s. It was shown to help prevent poaching. During the time, not a single dehorned rhino was killed. Today, Zimbabwe and another African nation, Zimbabwe, run dehorning operations in their national parks every year. In South Africa, dehorning is done on many private rhino reserves across the country. Vets start the process by shooting the rhino with the tranquilizer dart. That knocks the rhino out. Then vets get to work. The procedure is painless. A rhino's horns are made of keratin. That's the same material that makes up your hair and nails. It's like cutting your fingernails, says Prestoris. The veterinarians leave stubs that are usually a few inches long to avoid harming the rhino's skull. The removed horns are locked in a secret location away from poachers. Rhino recovery. But removing rhino's horns doesn't remove the threat to the species. Poachers sometimes kill rhinos that have only some of their horns left. Even a couple inches of the horn is still available. Also, it's still impossible to dehorn every rhino. Each operation can cost more than $1,000. Plus, just like your nails grow, the horns grow back, so they would have to be trimmed every couple of years. However, most experts agree that dehorning is effective when combined with other efforts. These include having more armed guards patrol the areas where rhinos live and educating people in Asia about the truth about rhino horns. Last year, 1,028 rhinos were killed in South Africa. That's nearly 200 fewer than the all-time high in 2014. But it's still far too many, according to conservationists. We are still in a dire situation, says Pastorius. So you can look at the dehorning of the rhino down here. As the rhino becomes groggy from the tranquilizer dart, a vet puts a blindfold over the animal's eyes. This helps keep the animal calm. So you can see here he's putting over the eyes. Once the rhino is knocked out, vets measure its horn to calculate how much to remove. So you can see she's measuring it here. A vet uses a battery-powered saw to carefully trim the rhino's horns down to the small stubs. Throughout the process, the vet and her team closely monitor the rhino's health. So here you can see he's holding the horn after it's been removed. The dehorned rhino wakes up after about 20 minutes and soon gets back on its feet unharmed.